Okay, so by this point, everyone should have an 8-inch by 10-inch slab that's somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. The thickness is crucial. If you get any thinner than this, or if you've got it really thick on one end and really thin on the other end, you're gonna run into problems. The biggest of which is if it's really thin, it's going to be difficult to assemble this in a neat and orderly way so that it will actually hold its shape. What we're shooting for today is to have a cylinder that's built like this, and we're going to put a bottom on it as well, but that can, you know, stand up, and we're definitely not ever laying this down. So to begin, you're gonna take, if you've collected them, some leaves from outside, and you're going to roll the texture of your leaves into your slab, and it's just very light. Not trying to really make the slab any bigger, just lightly rolling the veins and the wrinkles of the leaf into the slab, and you can see it makes a really kind of interesting pattern. And then from here, we're going to curl it up and make our cylinder. So the way that we start doing that is we just lay it flat. This is obviously going to be the exterior of your mug, and so along the inside and outside edge of the slab as it's laying in front of you, we're going to score along the edge that will be joined together like this. So what that looks like, super simple. One of the short edges, take your needle or scoring tool, score all along this edge, and you're looking to score approximately 1/2 inch width strip on the end. And then on the other end, we flip it over like this and do the exact same thing on the other end. So it's going to be on the opposite end and on the opposite side. Add a little water, obviously, like this, and then we're going to bring those two scored areas together. We do not lay it down in order to do so. We curl it into a cylinder standing up, and I like to start with the bottom edge and just kind of bring those two together. And this is 8 inches tall. I can't reach all the way down into the mug, so I'm gonna press like this. If I've got a utensil or a rolling pin or something that I can reach down in here with, it can make it a lot easier to press from the outside and get some good compression. You see the excess water is being squeezed out of your mug, or I'm sorry, out of the seam where this edge is being joined together. And you can also flip it over and do the same thing if you'd like. So at this point, this is looking pretty good. We are going to leave this overlapped seam area. It's going to stay just like this. We're not trying to smooth it down. That inevitably creates a thin spot on this outside wall down which it will crack. So it really is just best to leave the seam visible and celebrate the seam as a visual component of your mug that you can choose to highlight. And what I mean by that is that at this point, it looks like the result of some sort of putting it together. It looks like it's overlapped. It looks a little unfinished. But what we're gonna do in order to change the appearance of it, to make it look like, yeah, that seam, I meant to do it, we're gonna take either a needle tool or a marker tip or something, and we're gonna create little dots all the way down like this, and they look like little rivets or little buttons, okay? And suddenly the seam looks more intentional, like it's intended to be there. So we're ready to put a bottom on this. Super simple. Take a blob of clay, flatten it out. Doesn't need to be really big because all it has to do is cover the bottom. I'm gonna roll it out so that it's the thickness of the wall of our cylinder with the rolling pin or bottle hairspray, whatever you got. Pardon me. Again. And once I've got it to the right thickness, I'm gonna just place this right on top, trace around. I'm not cutting around, I'm tracing all the way around, because you'll mess it up if you try to cut it with it sitting on top. Please believe me. Remove it. Then, with your needle pointed straight up and down, we cut all the way around like this along your line. And now you can probably guess what's going to happen at this point. We score the thickness of the edge of your mug all the way around. We score the bottom edge of the mug, taking care not to do any damage to our seam holding the mug together. We add a little water. And then carefully put the mug on top, making sure that the fit is just right, and then I'm gently pushing down to squeeze out the water, and I will likely have to, since I didn't take precautions to put a piece of paper down, just have to pop it up like that. And so this is basically what you're shooting for today, is to assemble your mug body. And if you have like a little bit of a dimple inward on the bottom, that's actually a good thing. That keeps the bottoms from cracking. I won't explain why, you can just take my word for it. And you can kind of clean it up a little bit with your finger. And this is it for today. And I wish you luck. Have fun. Be adventurous with your leaf placement, and you're likely to make a nice mug.